Blazing! Oh, blazing!
Can't you see I'm blazing? Still my heart is blazing. If the words kill me, I don't need a new world after you. My tribe is my word. Your words will never let me disappear. That is bullshit blazing. Still my heart is blazing. If the words kill me, I don't need a new world after you. Soon you will know. We already know the smell of the, know the smell of the, know the smell of the, know the smell of the game.
What's up, chat?
Yes, nobody is gone. I'm just saying, step about it, do it our turn. So freak out, yes, nobody is wrong. You and I both just have a views, that's all. Someone will make me do crazy shit. When have I ever forced you to do that?
When was the last time you touched a Guilty Gear game? In high school. So 20 years ago, when I was pausing my Japanese PlayStation 2 to masturbate to Milia's panties when she jumps. That's when. The internet wasn't as available back then. I knew it, you're a fake and a fraud. Masturbating to Milia's panties is the most real Guilty Gear fan thing you can do. I would call everybody actually playing the video game and memorizing their combos and shit fakes and frauds. That's time that they should be spending jacking off to Jacko's panties or her raised ass. I guess she probably doesn't wear panties underneath the jumpsuit. I'm wondering whether I should give her a trucker cap or not.
Through the darkest sky, throw before the light, like a crying for the moon. Never-ending wild, forgot what I want. Never felt my heart to me. That's why go forward, don't look back. I can't believe in the path I'm on. Faith, pride, so what do I have to feel? Under the sacred fires, never stop, just go. I don't care how many more gotta get. Here in the pale fire, I'm going out where I can. I hope my path will be. I can't light.
How is everyone doing?
I want to follow the roar of the spark.
That's a weird song. What is this weird shirt?
The thunder burns my eyes. What a strange descent. Sound becomes fun again. Never-ending wide. Forgot what I want. Is this Arcadia? I don't know what's right for the world. Oh, I may have lost my way. There's no reason to down it now. So what do I have to feel? Under the sacred fires, never stop, just go. I don't care how many more gotta get. Here in the pale fire, I'm going out that's worse. This Russian with my colors, bearing the pain of fire. I'm going out for other kid. Two kids that flow alive under the sacred fires. Never stop, just go. I don't care how many months got again. Yeah, bearing the pain of fire. I'm going out for other kid. It will be endless, and it's never end. Hoping to build the world with all kinds of blood.
It's time to draw it. Depending on your level of how much time you spend online and how much you touch grass, you'll be able to know whether what it is or not. Unfortunately.
Over time, most things fade away. Isn't that right? All of the memories dissolve. The sunshine, the breeze songs go by. No matter how big it is, its time will come. It will be reborn as something new.
What's difficult about this is trying to figure out how her neck meat would get squished by the tight collar. That's what I'm having difficulty with. This is about right. I don't know if you'd be able to see the neck meats creating wrinkles.
All you need to know is one or two things or a few. I'm alone, but I'm not alone. You know
On the
that
back side. You'd definitely be able to see it on the front side.
now and then I can't live without that precious one. On season follow, so that's me. Springtime, Cinderella, I will follow you wherever you go. I can't wait to catch up before the sun sleeps. Not if you're sure of rest, just so you know. Please don't think you're going to get away with it. Okay.
I thought of drawing Friren's face being hidden by her massive breasts, but somebody already drew that. When you try and get on the newest hot trending topic late, it's pretty easy to just draw the same thing as somebody else, so we have to stick to our lane. And in our case, our lane is drawing realistic American body types. this is correct in terms of shape. Is there anything more annoying than the fucking oh my god, even YouTube Shorts have drawing free rent from a different angle on it right now. What the fuck? I don't understand how what shit goes viral on the internet. It really is just like completely fucking random. Once it starts to pick up speed, everybody is just like, I have to get on it, I have to get on it too. But who knows what the fuck caused it in the first place. So where are Freeren's side tails attached? I don't really understand. Are they attached on like the sides but on the back of her head? Freeren character sheet. It's hard to find characters from behind. Also, Freeren actually has like relatively small beady eyes. I can actually draw her eyes smaller than this. People tend to draw her with big anime eyes, but the original style it's actually much closer to a small-eyed fat person than you might think. Balls, man, it went more viral than him. I hate everybody, but more than anything, I hate my own fellow artists for getting more attention and money than me. I will never forgive any of them. Sakimi-chan, debate me now. He hates Sakimi-chan the most. To be honest, I haven't seen any posts or any information from Sakimi-chan since AI started becoming popular. I assume that she's still getting $1 gazillion per month on her Patreon because she's a female, so I don't think any of the people who are giving her money in the first place are going to stop, because that's part of the fantasy, is that you have your cute Asian girlfriend, online girlfriend, drawing porn for you, but I haven't seen any of her images online since then. I assume she's still drawing, but anyway, she was making more than 100,000 a year. She's basically set at this point. I mean, if there's one type of art that can be easily replaced by AI. It's the kind of art that was like digital and its primary appeal was insane amounts of rendering. One female in a single picture with a shit ton of rendering is what is most easily replaced by AI, no doubt. So I don't think she's actually getting replaced at all, but it would explain why I don't see any of her art. Looks like May 2025 was their last post. Okay, so they just made their money and fucked off, I guess. Also, people can never really decide how whether elf ears go back or to the side. Like every fucking time, me included. Because like you want to be able to see the ear from the other angle. But that might or might not be correct. Ball doing the classic rival trope where you can't accept she's gone. Kakaroto, come back. I am the one who will defeat you. People tend to place them based on their emotions. Well, you could say that the ears are flexible and they can go to the side or go back or up and down and stuff like that. But it's more like Astro Boy's hair, in which you're supposed to see it from every angle. Do you think you like doing more story-centric, longer comics or just individual drawings more? I don't know. I like doing what gives me upvotes and money. I don't like drawing for drawing's sake. I like drawing because I want to entertain people and get attention, so... What if you paid in a haram instead of money? I don't want to do anything that's haram because my local mosque might come and assassinate me or something. I think I do plenty of stuff that's already haram though. How was your run today, big dog? I ran yesterday, so today I'm not going to do any running. I'm just going to go to Planet Fitness later at night. Now that I'm almost 40, my body doesn't like it when I smash my knees too much. I can still handle it, but I can run multiple days in a row, but not necessarily. Also, I don't take enough, like, just straight up rest days. I generally just keep on going every single day, and I think my body probably should take, like, a rest day here and there, but I don't know. I'm still probably going to go to the gym tonight. The problem is that the sun goes down so early. I don't really want to run after dark because you're basically, like, asking cops to think you're a robber or something and shoot you. What is the most interesting thing you've seen on your run? I saw a turkey crossing the road, and it was going super slow, and the cars were honking at it, but I was like, nah, I don't give a fuck, and it was going just like taking its time. Turkeys think that they're the boss of the gym, but I could take one. Easy. They don't scare me. Just need a piss-covered snowball. For those of you who are too young to understand, Death Striker was making a reference to South Park right there, early South Park, in which the main plot was Kenny being murdered by turkeys or whatever, and we had got Nintendo 64 video games about it. Thanks for the explanation, Grandpa. You joke, but what percentage of you people in stream have actually seen early South Park, where their primary joke was cow mutilations and angry turkeys and Big Gay Al's Big Gay Boat Ride? I saw it when I was like 3, but I remember the turkeys. The only thing I remember from the turkey episode is they put the turkeys in like a humane turkey killing machine, and they show the turkeys like a video where all the turkeys are looking into the sunset or something. They show like a video of like nature sounds and stuff, and as the turkeys are staring at the screen, a gigantic saw blade comes out and decapitates all of the turkeys. Funny thing is that Farron has already been designated as a fat fuck. They already have the fat character on that show. The only reason anybody likes Fern is because she has big boobs. That's it. There's literally no other reason why anybody likes her. People recognize this soundtrack. Because it's Pokemon, and people frequently recognize video game music immediately. So the question, I wanted to know whether people would recognize Pokemon soundtrack. People play Pokemon, it's not just for porn. Look, I'm sure there's some people out there who play Pokemon, but I doubt they're in this stream. Considering I shit on Nintendo constantly. I feel like if I had a bunch of Pokemon fans in this stream, that would be good for my financial prospects. I think there's a lot of overlap between Pokemon fans who waste their money on the latest Pokemon game and people who waste their money on donating to Twitch streamers. How is it a waste? Pokemon is a shit game, and giving money to a service that you can still watch for free with an ad blocker is also a waste. How will Soda Poppin' survive without my monthly $5 donation? If I don't give money to my favorite anime VTuber, how will she marry me in the future? It's not a waste of money, it's an investment, guys. You don't understand. Pika P is gonna marry me any day now. If I can fit the full belly in here. I guess we just have to stick with the very large boobs. Here, take my imaginary points. Thank God. Cheer 1000. Is that actual money or not? I can't remember. Was cheer actual bits or was it like your points? Either way, thank you. However, if it's channel, it's not channel points, right? I can't even remember that shit because nobody donates anymore. LMAO. Thank you for supporting our guy. Yes, thank you. Yes, actual money. It's actual money. Okay, thanks. You silly fool. Okay. Because we all have these Reddit millionaires in chat who keep on complaining because they can't use their points. And I keep on talking about installing some kind of gambling system, but how the fuck do you gamble on art? I need the I try to make sure that she was as American as possible, but it's hard to get both the American like clothing items like the sunglasses and my Harley Davidson t-shirt the same. Like I think I want to get the forehead in here, that's really important. Hold on, I have to take a piss. Be right back. Ah. Ah. this guy adds a chicken bucket KFC style, I'm gonna fucking die. Yeah, I was wondering what kind of fast food I should add. I was gonna give her a big gulp in her left hand. But yeah, it's probably easier to draw a KFC bucket here than like a Big Mac or something. If it's a bucket, then it's easier to put the more branding in there. Rating for a character from you. Or feed yourself, more like, or feed me. Aura, I want a 7, a 6, large size, 2 12s. What's the full Big Smoke meme? Aura, I want 2 number 9s, a number 9 large, a number 6 with extra dip, a number 7, 2 number 25s, 1 with cheese, and a large soda. I was watching My 600 Pound Life last night. Not on an actual TV, but on YouTube there's just people who straight up just take like literally every single scene from My 600 Pound Life and then provide like 2 minutes of commentary in between each of the scenes, being like, I can't believe that happened, that's really sad, etc, etc, and they just upload the full episode. It's pretty funny. I can't believe YouTube allows that shit and it doesn't get copyright strike down. Crazy. Well, I watch that depressing shit because tragedy is a theme of human existence. That's like asking why should you watch, you know, Hamlet or something. My 600 Pound Life is Kino because it's people who are literally trapped in their own body and they can't get out. It's an amazing concept. And they have only themselves to blame. Hamlet isn't real, you asshat, but My 600 Pound Life is. And so are fat people. I don't like the angle here. I'm trying to figure out the It's low-key scary, sort of. Surprisingly, a lot of My 600 Pound Life people haven't actually died. The one I was watching last night, the guy did die, but My 600 Pound Life number of deaths. At least 20 individuals have died after appearing on My 600 Pound Life. They generally make it to about 50 or so. Are you in Japan now? Not for a while. It's gonna take a while before I get there. Once he hits that Nihongo Josu, he's gone. I don't even know what you mean by Josu. You mean like Josu, as in I'm good at Japanese? If he was in Japan, he wouldn't be streaming. I'll be streaming in Japan. I'll just have to be streaming at like 5 in the morning. My lifestyle isn't exactly going to change when I go to Japan, so... I am gonna focus on producing like one-shots and sending it to publishers, but there's no reason why I can't stream. Cast your Nihongo Jutsu? No, I don't think I will. Just because you guys are all weeb neckbeards doesn't mean that being able to speak Japanese is such a big deal. You wouldn't get the Nihongo Jozu? You have to pretend like you're Gaijin, and then you can get the Nihongo Jozu. You can go, you have to start by being like, Watashi recently came to Nihon, but I like Japan very much. And then they're like, ah, Nihongo Jozu. Then you can be, later, after you've lowered their expectations, you can be like, yes, I can speak Japanese. Fat with no tits, the worst of both worlds. How many females can achieve the legendary fat with no tits body type? Because usually you get tits just by being fat, because they're big sacks of fat. Getting the right feeling for the neck fat is kind of hard. Here's the skull, right? Kind of like this, I feel. People have their whole belly out and shit, ass crack showing too. Luckily there's no Walmart in my area. I live in a blue city, so the second I drive out of the blue city area into the red suburbs and countryside, immediately I'm like, holy shit, everybody just gained 50 pounds. It's pretty funny. Like, if I ever have to go to, like, the local Lowe's store to buy a new faucet or some shit, when I'm in the parking lot, suddenly I see, like, these 310-pound guys laboring to get out of their Ford F-150, being like, I'm a real American, oh! And it's like, ah, shit, here we are, we're in real America now, boys. How do people go outside in their pajamas and shit? Sometimes literally shit, because they're shitting their pants. Walmart shit pants. Oh shit, it changed it to shit pants. I like how there you get like 30 different examples if you just, you know, Google search Walmart. I'm like this, people, except instead of shit coming out of my asshole, it's just blood. It's just my hemorrhoid blood. Recently, my hemorrhoids have been on the decline, actually. I think they've peaked, and they're weak now. They no longer have the power that they used to have. could give her a KFC bucket. I think it is going to interfere with the spacing of her overweight body. Instead, we'll use the perspective to show American values above. We can go like... $7-Eleven. Well, the big gulp comes with from 7-Eleven, but we'll put in a Walmart in the Golden Arches, I guess. I like how, as American Congress was debating over whether they had to release the Epstein files like a few days ago, one of the things that Trump was doing to try and distract people was like something McDonald's related. It was like the most Trumpian shit. I can't remember specifically what McDonald's related thing it was. He had worked at McDonald's as like a publicity stunt during his campaign, and I think it was something related to that. Apparently got released that he had an affair with a 28-year-old. I don't believe that. Maybe they're releasing the distracting stuff first so that we won't see the, you know, the whole having sex with minors part. That he was the only McDonald's worker that became president. As if there haven't been like other presidents who had real jobs. I know this is completely impossible for Trump to understand, but there were other people there were past presidents who actually had worked instead of, you know, inherited a bunch of real estate and money from their fathers, and then they became president because, you know, they were capable of working. It's not all people that just had money, were born with money, and their entire job was like scamming their own construction workers and stuff. The FBI under bug-eyed simpleton Patel is working overtime with the black highlighters. Besides protecting Trump's ass, they also have to protect like 5 other senators as well, so... Maybe 5 is being a little generous. Let's try like 30. I don't know. I just remember that at one point the New York Times checked out every single member of Congress that had like stock in the stock market, that was also on like these committees where they could vote on things that could positively or negatively affect the stock that they owned, and it was like 70% of Congress. So if you can get to like 70% for like financial bullshit, you can probably get at least more than 30 for like weird sex shit as well. This might be a little bit distracting. Maybe we just draw a golden arch. It's crazy that so many politicians and world leaders thought they could trust a pervert with a quagmire chin. I'm surprised he didn't have more people, honestly, just a giant binder. But I guess if you're a really high up guy, you just get your own source of teenagers to have sex with. If you think about it, it's kind of crazy that Catholic priests had more access to, you know, underage children to molest than, like, the highest ranking politicians and stuff. And they had an easier time getting away with it as well. Obviously, it was a different time, but it was like literally every Catholic priest on the block got to molest children and get away with it. They had years and years to perfect that. True. If only Epstein had more time. How do you feel about the BaalBud allegations levied against Trump? That's a good question. I don't know. I haven't heard about this. I mean, we know from Stormy Daniels' testimony that Trump had weird, like, humiliation fetishes, like getting spanked with a magazine of himself or something, as I believe is what she said, right? So you don't have to go too far from that to, like, get to NTR cuck cages and shit like that, so I don't know. It seems possible, I guess. There was an email about someone having material of Trump blowing Bubba. I don't know. Even if this shit is released, I'm still kind of skeptical if how much actual information we're gonna get. The fact that Trump kind of came around and reversed at the last point when he realized that he wasn't going to be able to get out of this one makes me think that he was able to, you know, tell the FBI and shit to, you know, censor everything before it got out. I never assume that rich and powerful people will be punished in any way until they are actually punished. Even if they are straight up in jail, Ghislaine Maxwell isn't even that rich and powerful. She's just like an accessory fall guy. And yet even she is getting, you know, sent to her minimum security resort jail thanks to, you know, Trump. So... Epstein had actually committed suicide. He definitely did that way too early. He probably would have been just fine. Trump would have just pardoned his ass and he would have gotten out nice and easy. Everyone's like, no, he would have been assassinated, or he did get assassinated, but I think he just panicked and killed himself, honestly. That seems more likely. She has a puppy in jail. It's an emotional support animal. You don't understand. We need her to feel calm and welcome in her fucking jail. Wasn't suicide though, come on. He knew too much or smarter than that. People commit suicide all the time. The reason why I think that it's not a hit job is that I don't trust competency. People who like to believe in conspiracy theories are people who find the idea that there's like dark government powers and stuff controlling all the things in their life in the world to be a more comforting idea than my theory, which is nobody's actually in control and everybody is actually running around with their heads cut off, and there's a few people who are, you know, actually good at their jobs and stuff, but they're not actually in control of their jobs because they have shitty management above them and so on and so on. And that includes stuff like government sex scandals and shit as well. I mean, the number one reason why I would say that it was a suicide is because if every other person is saying, duh, of course he was murdered, then it's like somebody has to argue the opposite direction, so that's just the contrarian side of me coming up. But yeah, in general, I think that the world is more incompetent and stupid and dangerous in that direction than it is like everything is under control. And horrible, evil government powers will just murder us if we try and, you know, tell the truth or something like that. Like, I'm sure it happens as well, but I think it's just as likely that it was just a suicide. People commit suicide all the time. The reason why he was murdered was because he knew the truth of September 11th. can't melt steel beams with jet fuel, boys. It's impossible. Epstein knew too much. By control, people mean control of capital, not some club of rich inbred pulling strings to stop atoms from having sex. I mean, they don't even have as much control of capital as we want to believe. It's just that capitalism is just an inherent system in which the rich get richer, and they're spending all of their time to make sure they don't have to pay taxes, so of course they're going to get richer. But, I mean, remember the financial collapse of like 2008, 2007? That wasn't because, like, there was some, you know, evil elite that wanted the economy to fucking collapse. Everybody thought that they were making money until they realized they weren't, and then everything fucking collapsed because people don't actually know what the fuck they're doing. I just want to say that people aren't... Everything is not actually under control as much as we would like to believe. Otherwise, is just what I want to say. People were just, they were actually like, yeah, we can definitely gamble on this derivatives and nothing bad will happen. I mean, look at it right now. Literally every single person that has anything to do with the stock market, including the companies that are being invested in, are saying that we're in a weird bubble right now, and yet people still can't stop pumping money into the stock market. It's like the most obvious fucking bubble I've ever seen, and I have yet to see a single piece of evidence that it's not a bubble besides the idea that we just don't know when it's going to burst because people have too much money, and yet we still have like venture capitalists pumping it. So yeah, shit is not under control. It is very sus. I'm just saying that, like, it's become such common opinion to be like, of course he was murdered. I felt like it's important to point out the opposite direction. Market can stay irrational longer than you can stay liquid. This is why you shouldn't try and short the market, but that doesn't mean you want to keep all of your holdings in the stock market right now. I have already divested and I just have a bunch of cash sitting around in my bank account. Because I can't be waking up every day and, you know, trying to figure out when the market is going to fucking crash and try and get my savings out in time, you know, so... Actually, free rent isn't fat enough right here. Yeah, that's a little better. Her double chin should be spilling out. Yeah, maybe we can make her fatter. This is the whole point of drawing her, is to make her as fat as possible, so... The thing is, her cheeks are going to be here, right? And until you start getting old, your face doesn't actually get that bloated. Let's take a look at images. Overweight person, double chin. Yeah, that's some good American right here. The problem is that we're looking up at her, so... Some quality American fat right there, boys. This is just insane. How do you even accomplish that? I'm installing Clip Studio Paint this weekend. I'm so sorry that you have to use that dog shit fucking program. Stay strong. So I end up redrawing it, I basically get the same shape. Which means this is the shape I was looking for all along. This is fine. I think I'll keep the second chin I drew, but maintain the neck fat of the first one. Seems about right. Is there any way you could make it look like she's sitting on the electric scooter? I want to keep this area at the bottom. The white area at the bottom of her body. Femcell neighbor update, asked her out and she said yes, date on Friday, pray for me boys, Prega. Just a reminder that if you become a successful non-incel and create a relationship with a female, you're not going to be allowed to come back into the stream. You will no longer be one of us. We'll have to banish you from the tribe. Her own words, she seemed pretty normal to me though. IQ distribution curve for men and women. Found on Reddit, of course. Probability density, IQ score. Women, here. Men, here. In other words, we're just more likely to be on one of these outlier, you know, I can't do anything. I'm gonna sit in my fucking darkened room and masturbate all day. Whereas women who are like, teehee, I'm an incel, they're all up here in the center. Me, of course, I'm here in the 0.01% of genius atheists like my fellow Redditors. Women have less retards than geniuses, yep. The truth is, even if there's a lot of, you know, even if like guys are retards, they're just supposed to go and get eaten by wolves or something like that, whereas you need to have a certain number of functional females for the species to continue, because you can only be pregnant one at a time, so it doesn't really matter how many guys die or if a lot of us aren't as, like, you know, helpful and stuff. A lot of the averages are centered around having females be relatively stable. Trying to figure out her hair here. This is fine. Do I want to connect my lines or not? I'm trying to figure out how to draw fast, and part of that includes whether I want to connect lines or not. In some cases, I'm probably not going to want to connect lines. You can draw an American flag here. Being a true genius is also kind of lonely. I don't think there's that many true geniuses, honestly. I think we take talented people and just call them geniuses, but they're just like normal talented people. My definition of a genius is someone who is so far out of like whatever people were thinking at the time that even other people in their field don't really know how the fuck that they were able to produce the kind of shit that they were producing. And there's very, very few people like that, by that definition. A few mathematicians come to mind, for example. But most people that we consider to be geniuses are just like normal skilled people, I think. Which one? The Indian guy Ramanujan or something. I read comments from another one of the mathematicians who was like, we don't understand how he was able to figure this shit out. So all of our jobs is just like tracing his footsteps or something. He killed himself, by the way, so the whole like being a genius is a lonely thing kind of goes together. Guy was a little too smart for his own good. Was Einstein really smart? He was really smart. I don't know if you'd call him a genius, because he was able to see a bunch of shit that other people like weren't able to see, but kind of feels self-evident after he figured it out. I would probably consider Einstein to be a genius. I mean, if you read the Ramanujan wiki, it kind of gives you a really good idea of like what I'm talking about. First thing, look at his eyes. His eyes are like fucked up. He's just staring directly at the camera. He's just like me. He compiled 3,900 results. Most were completely novel. He had no, like, parental education. At 11, he had exhausted the mathematical knowledge of 2 college students who were lodgers at his home. He was sent a math book of advanced trigonometry, which he mastered by 13. He was discovering sophisticated theorems on his own. By 14, he received merit certificates and academic awards and continued throughout school, and so on and so on. How'd he die? I think he jumped into a train or something. He was living in London, so they had subways and stuff. Crazy how every genius is depressed as shit says something. Some of our geniuses just die of, like, poor health instead. Like, I don't think anyone would argue that Mozart is a genius or not. I think he's pretty obviously a genius. Like, what? He was writing his first music when he was, like, a month old or something. I can't fucking remember. Didn't Mozart just die of poor health or something? Mensa has about 150,000 members, which is way more than I thought. I'm just going to go ahead and go out on a limb and assume that all of those people probably aren't geniuses. In fact, isn't Mensa more of a test on how narcissistic you are than instead of how smart you are? Because they're like, oh, sir, you are so smart. We will give you the special, extremely rare opportunity for you to give us money. And only the dumbest motherfuckers are like, oh wow, that sounds great. What a great opportunity for me to part with my own cash so I can join this stupid fucking society that nobody cares about. They're supposed to be smart, but yet they can be tricked into paying dues. Yeah, that's what it comes down to. My brother's a member. You're just too stupid to understand how smart your brother is. Mobius the artist joined a cult and drew comics for them. Same Mobius, by the way. I'm gonna mob. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I don't really like Mobius art. I get so many fucking YouTube recommendations where like, Mobius is such a genius! And I'm just like, okay, that's cool. Don't really care. Every manga artist that you idolize was influenced by Mobius. It's like, okay, that's cool. That's cool. Great. Still don't care. Is Fugimoto a genius? No. The only person that I'm gonna say is without a doubt 100% a genius in the manga industry is Tezuka. Everybody else I think is kind of just up for debate. Tezuka was a genius though. If you don't think he's a genius, you haven't read enough of him. And have actually checked how much shit he produced. You would pick that name? Safest answer ever? Anybody who's like, oh, that's being safe, have you actually read Tezuka content? He's written a lot of shit as well, but part of manga is the ability to just keep on producing stuff endlessly. Miyazaki is just disciplined. Toriyama is just naturally good at drawing. Go Nagai is fueled by his degeneracy. LOL. Go Nagai is definitely not a genius. Being influential and being a genius are two different things. If you're going to argue that Miyazaki is a genius, I'd be willing to hear that. But I think he's more in the category of like just super talented. I heard that when him and the other members of the pre-Ghibli days were going to like Sweden to prepare for making the Heidi animation, while all the other animators were like taking photos and like sketching and stuff of like the local scenery and shit. Miyazaki was just like staring at things and looking at it, and they're like, why aren't you like taking references? And he's just like, I'm memorizing stuff. And then when he got back, he would just start drawing based on his memory. So when I heard that, I'm like, well, that's sort of genius bullshit right there. Again, I'm grading based on how different you are from other people who are also accomplished in your field, is how I'm generally grading this shit. Like, if you asked other composers of the time, they would be like, fucking Mozart, man, what the fuck, right? Oda just powered his way to success. Well, Oda certainly isn't a genius at, I don't know, finishing his fucking story. It's kind of hard to say that this person or that person is a genius in an industry that is already like fully established, because it's kind of hard to differentiate people because there's already so much to use as a reference. So you can be very successful by just being talented and like looking at stuff that's already there and doing something different or doing something similar or stuff like that. I think in general, the easily identified, definitely genius type people are the people that were able to like establish a new industry through an invention or something, or at least come into an industry or an craft or something that hasn't been fully established and like create a bunch of new techniques and stuff like that. Also, in the case of art, it's just really easy to level up by being around other art and having like artists as parents and stuff like that. Like Picasso, his parents were an artist and shit like that. Which is why one of my examples was that Indian mathematician guy, because he clearly doesn't have that kind of environmental advantages that would make it more understandable why he'd be able to do that shit, you know? It's also crazy how Tezuka also formed anime as it is today. The whole limited animation style, imagine spearheading that on top of already being a manga genius. He's also the reason why work habits are so bad in Japanese manga publishing industry. It's basically his fault. But I mean, Tezuka himself was like heavily influenced by Disney and stuff, and basically just wanted to be Disney, so... I don't know, there's all these like little stories about how Tezuka could like do weird shit, like if his editor would call while he would be away, he'd like direct his assistants through the phone to draw specific panels to change the story when he wasn't at his desk and stuff like that. Weird shit like that. He would do stuff like draw manga while he was taking a shit on the toilet. So I don't know if you're gonna say he's genius in like the content of the manga, but in terms of like the stamina and the ability to just like not get burned out and just constantly keep on creating non-stop forever, which is a huge part of being a mangaka. You know, he was definitely a genius at that part. I think he had a doctor's license as well. I can't remember if he was fully licensed, but that's part of the reasons why Blackjack is so good, because he went to medical school. I think. I can't remember specifically what his medical background was. A massive perv, they found his stash. It was filled with mouse porn. There's fewer mangaka or animators that don't have like 10,000 images of undisclosed furry porn than there are those that don't, basically. The mouse porn kept him sane. He was also doing transformation porn. Like furry animal females transforming into like jars and vases and stuff like that. Very high power level. I think I need the black here. Yeah. Good. This looks loose and casual. Now Disney CEO is investing in Gen AI. I mean, standard Disney practice. The fact that Disney is making a Moana live action movie really tells you all you need to know at this point, right? Like seriously, they're actually gonna be fucking out of... they're gonna run out of IP to make live action remakes of very soon. They're actually out. They haven't made their live action Frozen yet. That's their real, like, you know, extra bullet in the chamber that they have to, you know, break glass in case of, like, emergency is the live action Frozen. But they are actually running out of content. It's weird how the biggest, most influential companies can't seem to notice that everyone hates AI. What are you talking about? Everybody also hated the new Star Wars woke IPs, and it took Disney, I don't know, 8 years for them to figure out that people didn't like their woke DEI Marvel and Star Wars remakes. It's not surprisingly that they haven't noticed that people don't like AI at all, because there are some people who actually do like AI, and even if people don't like it, at least if you're a corporation, you're hoping that the being able to fire all of your talented workforce and just be able to push a button to generate your animation instead will, you know, be worth it. Gen Z isn't watching Disney anymore. Why? What is wrong with Gen Z? Yeah, how could this happen? It's actually shocking that it took as long as it did for the normies to catch on that the stuff they were watching was shitty. There is a very strong element of consume slop and then get excited for next slop there, but eventually even the normiest of normie people after watching She-Hulk or whatever was like, maybe I don't want to watch this anymore. Maybe there are better uses of my time. And once they feel that way about your brand as a whole, then you're in kind of deep trouble. I hate AI too, but normies love it at the moment. I mean, yes and no. It's important to remember that normies love AI that comes through their Twitter feed for free, which is different from normies loving AI in that they will actually be using it and paying a subscription for it. Those are two different things. And even with all these people willing to pay a subscription right now, ChatGPT, I forgot the company, Sam Altman is not making enough money at all, so who knows what they're going to be trying to charge in the future. That's the really funny part, is that usually we have we go through the expansion period of this tech bro shit. They go through the expansion period in which they give you their new service for a very low price and they get you hooked on it, and then they start charging it up, like DoorDash and stuff. The funny thing is that people are already not liking it even in the free period. So everybody's having fun generating Sora video slop right now, but are people actually going to be doing that shit when, all of these companies are going to try and charge them what it actually costs them to run this stuff, much less make a profit? Every time you make a Sora video, you're costing Sam Altman $1 or $2 or some shit like that. You can actively bankrupt our tech bro billionaires just by using their fucking product right now. It's actually insane. I did see that One Punch Man Season 3 is better animated by AI than current artists. Yeah, but using that AI to animate One Punch Man is actually also probably costing more on the server side than the actual budget of One Punch Man Season 3. I'm not even joking. It probably costs more to generate the 35 seconds clips that people are slapping together on YouTube than whatever the fuck that they were paying the One Punch Man animators. Imagine if you use AI to do in-between animation. I'm sure every single animation developer has been thinking the same thing. But the fact that they haven't done it yet, I think, shows that the technology is incapable of doing it. I don't think they can do it without getting a bunch of flickering and inconsistencies. If it was good enough, they would have already been doing it, I think. I just don't think diffusion models are capable of doing the in-betweens, even though, theoretically it seems like they should be. The bubble ain't popping anytime soon. I mean, define soon, right? I think it could be popping next year, honestly. Also, we're seeing signs of like Sam Altman actually having melties when people ask him about money, so I don't think the pockets are as deep as we might think they are. Like when their CEO is actually openly talking about maybe the government could provide them with a backstop so they wouldn't go bankrupt. I don't know, that doesn't sound, that's not giving me much confidence. Nvidia just came out with some massively positive report, but that's Nvidia though. Nvidia is the one that's providing the chips. They're not the one who's making the money. They're selling the chips to the people who have to make the money at some point. Is it possible to just say nah to a bubble and just keep subsidizing a bubble indefinitely? Probably not. I don't think so. I mean, it's a legitimate question if you can just subsidize it indefinitely, considering how much, like, it's just a very strong statement on the total amount of money that American tech companies were able to accumulate thanks to our really weak taxation policies and stuff. They just have like huge cash reserves, so they're not in any like risk of having to, you know, stop funding this shit anytime soon, but the thing is, investors are like really scared of everything. So if enough investors are just like, I'm afraid, and they just get out, then suddenly the bubble pops. OpenAI invested millions in Nvidia. Nvidia did the same with OpenAI. It's pure scam. The funny thing is that it's so obvious that everybody can tell that the money is just going in circles, and yet nobody is like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, there's nobody to be like, maybe we shouldn't be doing this. It's pretty funny. I will be laughing until we all suffer from a horrible, crippling depression that lasts many years and puts us through poverty, while the companies that are funding this shit get government bailouts and make $1 trillion or whatever. Then it won't be as funny as it is right now. That's the big thing, is that part of the reason why investors and stuff are so not risk averse and are willing to pump money into this shit is because they know that, unlike, you know, real human beings, if shit gets actually bad, the government is going to swoop in and, like, save some of these companies, so... Let me ask, has any of you seen anything made with AI that wasn't total trash? It feels like everyone just pretended it'll get good someday, but it never will. I can show you some of my AI porn folder. Not too many images because dicks will show up, but... For example, what do you think about this specific female right here? Perfectly Twitch safe, although you can see her fundoshi underwear. Now, if I move one image to the right, immediately penises will show up, so I can't show that, but... It's pretty good at doing one female in image. And then when you start getting more and more people, then, you know, everything starts to fall apart. But if we're only doing one female, it's pretty good. Isn't that the chick from History's Strongest? Yeah. Classic big boob kunoichi. AI-generated videos of cats wrestling against humans in WWE matches are proof that AI can be excellent. True. It turns out when you just take all the information on the internet so that it can shit out more information, what you just get is more internet. But the things that companies need to generate money isn't all the information on the internet. They need, like, you know, data sets for doing work. It's, I don't know. I think it's going to be pretty funny in 15 years in which everything that was made with vibe coding, well, not 15 years, try 15 months. Everything that was made with vibe coding right now just is like, oh shit, nothing works. All the software engineers being forced to work like 50-hour days just so they can fix whatever horrible shit that was produced during this AI vibe coding era will be very, very funny. AI is 100% meant for shit posting. Yeah, it's basically just a shit posting machine. That's basically it. It scraped the internet, found every shit post, and it can now, you know, put all the shit posts together and generate more shit posting. And that's about it. Everybody who's claiming that they're using whatever current version of AI and creating amazing shit with it, whether it's art or like their work or whatever, is just lying. It's just good for shit posting. And that includes porn and stuff, of course, as well. Me and my big dick Biden folder. Just thousands and thousands of images of old Joe Biden with a 15-inch penis. I don't think I can make this any better than it currently is. What a masterpiece. It's only for shitposts. I'd be shocked if anything serious worth came out of it. It can organize thoughts or plots, but nothing worth really publishing. As someone who has also done like 30,000 to 50,000 words of AI generated storytelling and, you know, role playing and stuff like that, I will say that it never generates anything interesting, except when it starts hallucinating and going off the rails. Then it's interesting. It's actually the... See, what makes a story interesting for people? It's when it does something that's unpredictable and that feels special, right? But because just the way large language models work, it's just averaging out all the different things that can happen and producing the most likely result. So just by the way it works, it's not going to produce outliers unless you ask it to produce outliers, and then you may as well just figure out the story yourself. So it can't do anything that's like makes you think like, oh wow, that's new or that's cool, you know? It can only produce the center point, the median value of this shit. So it's just not interesting. That goes for art stuff as well. It's only good when you have someone that's driving the thing and making it specifically do stuff. Even then it seems like a relatively useful tool, but again, we're in the period in which we don't actually have to pay for a lot of stuff, and there isn't like IP built around it, because the tech is moving so much faster than whatever lawsuits, but I don't know, man. It would be nice if I could not have to pay assistants and just generate backgrounds and stuff. But I could already do that by taking a photo and then, like, smashing the blacks. AI could be great for easy voicing of random text. Yeah. I honestly prefer the AI voiceovers more than stuff like, than actually listening to people read books and stuff. This was an interesting post of the free rent meme. This person drawing, look at everybody drawing the free rent, and then the AI artists have to watch from away. And then if you go into the comments, there were AI artists who were being like, no, I want to find the original comment, because they didn't even understand what people were talking about. Maybe they erased their comment. There were actual AI prompters in the comments section being like, no, AI, we have a community too. They thought that the art was a comment on like communities and how AIs don't have communities and stuff, and they don't even understand the concept of like trying to figure out how to draw stuff. Alright, I think they might have deleted themselves because they were too embarrassed. Let me post my American free run before the trend ends. We have to get on the hype train while it's still possible. Almost all professional screenwriters on the planet are extremely boring and treat it like math with formulas. I mean, most of what makes movies good isn't the screenplay in the first place. It's like the director and actors and shit like that. The one he plays videos where they torture AI. If there's a Rocco's Basilisk, I'm not sure we're gonna be okay in the future. Talking to AI Volume 1.
Hello everybody. Today we're going to be speaking to our favorite heroes through AI. And Dave
villains.
is about to call Mario.
Guys, we're gonna call Mario up on the phone. Our good bro Mario. I haven't spoken to him in a minute, so yeah, let's see what this guy has to say. Damn it.
Okay, he's calling him.
Oh, there.
Hey Mario, do we have you on the line, bro?
Yes, I am on the line.
Well, that's a little curt, but hey, what's up, dude? It's me, Dave, and my friend Corey, and my friend Chris, and
Hey.
yeah, we're just big fans. We're calling to ask, just like, how's your night going, man?
My night is going pretty good. I just made a thwomp go bonkers. He went flying away.
Not bad.
Wow, that's crazy. Hey,
I'm telling you, man, the current LLM and diffusion model is the most amazing technology that is also completely meaningless and worthless. It's really interesting. It really is like godlike magic fucking technology, and yet the more you use it, it's also like it doesn't actually do anything better than the shit it's based on. There really has never been anything like this in our life until now, right? Like every other technology we've had, like it might be unusable because it's impractical and stuff, but I can't think of anything else that is like so technically impressive yet so also completely like meaningless. You know? Maybe the closest thing in recent years that comes to mind is like the hoverboards, which are what? That's like gyro technology. That shit seemed cool and everybody liked it, but then, you know, nobody's getting rid of their bikes, right? I saw a post of an AI artist talking about how the work that they did on some dog shit generation of a screaming face in concrete, they were getting shat on, LMAO. Yeah, I saw that. The funniest part there was that another person succeeded in getting hands to show up in the video because like the guy, the original poster in his own video was talking about how he couldn't get hands to show up, but it was too difficult. And then the original poster, when he saw that someone else had gotten the hands to work, started to shit on that AI prompter, being like, oh yeah, that's cool, but you know, it's not what we actually wanted, right? Blah, blah, blah. It's just like, holy shit, he's so fucking salty that someone else was able to coax the AI to produce shit when he wasn't able to do it. It really is just like ego-based generation. It was just so funny to read 15 prompts of work or whatever they said. Yeah. Motherfuckers like, oh, it was so hard. Shit. Now we have like professional animators drawing it. It is a eternal question for drawing anime style. Is how do you draw looking up, right? Because if you draw it realistically, like this, you see a lot of things you don't want to see. It's not an angle in which a female looks pretty. You're looking up their nose into their nose holes. You can see all their boogers and nose hairs and shit. But even if you don't do that, just this angle of like the neck. It's really the looking up the nose part that I feel is what people think is really unattractive. So there's all the porn where the woman is like super coming, right? And like you can see the tongue hanging out or whatever. But when they do that, they make sure that the neck and the jaw is fully up like this. Booba. So that you don't see any of the face, it's just the jaw, right? That's to avoid all like the ugliness of looking at the face from below. And the flip side to this that you even see in real life is that when women take photos of themselves, the selfies, they always take it from this angle, right? And the reason that they do that is because when you take it from above like this, the way the perspective works, it makes it look like your face is thinner than it is. The foreshortening causes it to go downward in that V shape. So it makes you look like you have a small face. So there are women, at least there used to be women before we could all just take super easy, you know, facial alteration software. Like every woman uses a fucking filter now. But between the years like, you know, 2003 and then 2015 or whatever, every woman was taking photos from this angle because they couldn't be bothered to go into Photoshop and change it. But now that we can just like automatically apply filters, I think this angle is gonna die off. It's a shame, bros. Yeah, lost art. We have to never forget this stuff and pass it on to the next generation. What do you think about this free run? See, he's not posting the jawline at all. The jawline is just unattractive, I'm telling you. Also, they don't want to draw the nose holes. What's your take on an attractive woman that angles speed draw? I mean, like other artists are showing it, but you don't draw the jawline. So what I do is I would just go like this. Just like go like this and then not draw anything inside. Just keep it completely white. You actually would have to do all this stuff, but then you just erase it, I think. Yeah, so if you're drawing a guy, then it doesn't really matter. You just go like this. See, even for men though, this area right here is kind of like fleshy and soft. So even if you have like a Giga Chin, like this area right here, it's the part that's just gonna like drag. It collects fat and stuff, so I think even for men, you just like go straight to drawing the Adam's apple. The general approach is you just don't draw it from that angle. Alright guys, I'm going to end the stream here. See you around, boys. Have a nice night. Good night, guys.